In continuing to actually fight against the influence of retired General Chiwenga, Temba Mliswa has once again written a very, very long essay underscoring the point that it is an illusion that military has power in the Zimbabwean politics. Since Temba Mliswa telling the truth, or he is actually saying his wishful thinking or perception. All these and more would be unpacked on this live broadcast. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So Temba Mliswa striked some hours ago about also retired General Chiwenga's influence, and he says this time around the illusion of military power in politics. He says the military has long been seen as the actual muscle that sustains ZANU-PF as a force in local politics, giving it an unfair advantage and also operating as the deep state that selects who actually gets to run the country. Such has been the synergy between the two that over the years many have crossed the floor from the military into the trenches of politics in a seamless manner. As things stand, ZANU-PF as a party is home to thousands of former military personnel within its structures. Some have competed in party primaries and later stood as MPs, while some are part of the party's administrative structures. Many who have made such transitions have understood the difference between the party and the military. This has allowed them to defrog the military gap and compete in a new arena where commands and orders are not as weighty as they used to be. It has allowed many former military people to not just survive, but make actual progress as politicians. A chance of terrain from the military to politics requires one to accept and understand that the terms and conditions are different. Whatever power one might have carried in the military doesn't necessarily follow him in politics as to bequeath upon him special rights and privileges. The most that one can have as a residue from their former position. Let me just look. I've lost where I changed. Okay. Okay. The most that one can have as a residue from their former position is respect as part of protocol. Otherwise, once one becomes a politician, they have to contest equally and fairly with everyone else to get electoral support. Former Army General Solomon Muchuru faced similar frustrations as he tangled with politicians in various ZANU-PF platforms until he was reported to have engineered a new party, Mabambo, led by Simbamakon. The party's only success was denning the two main parties, MTC and ZANU-PF, outright wins. His being a military stalwart failed to transfer into a full-fledged political powerhouse, despite whispers of him being a political kingmaker. Thus, there are no sacred Hindu cows whose passages have to be paved and opened for them as they walk up to the dais of power. This is where VP Chiwenga is missing it. He made a switch, but instead of accepting and understanding that he is now in a different arena, he thought and sought to retain the prestige of his former platform. That is as preposterous as it is strange, because the party is not the military, and it already has its own seniors who possess a weightier claim to the top seat than the VP. So why was he given the VP? While others have the weightier actually chance, as Temba Mliswa claims. So now continue. Succeeding President Mnangagwa has come to him a right which no one else should contest. It is the reason why his anti-corruption charade is only focused on a handful of characters. In a country where Zak Chairperson Lois Matanda Moyo says we lose 1.8 billion per year, how can that be reduced to a few characters? It can be reduced to those few because among them is one he sees as a threat to his aspirations for the top seat, which he wants without undergoing the requisite internal party electoral process. However, democratic contests, he was trying to say context, I don't know, are the oxygen of politics from the party where one's viability as a candidate is tested to the nation stage. The Chinese are fleecing much more than any of the targeted Zikananda. But that doesn't worry him because they are not a threat to his political aspirations. While no type of corruption should be condoned, there is something fishy about a leader whose prime focus is attacking and denigrating local business people while protecting foreigners. Already he has managed to frame and smear people like Takurei, Chivayo, Sakupwanya, etc., while turning a blind eye on the Chinese, whose track record of atrocious acts are all over. Even if they have cases to answer, even if they have cases to answer for which they should be arrested, why be selective and only targets your ilk? As a newly minted politician, the general should understand that politics has a different set of rules and they require him to contest with everyone else. He remains a military hero, but as a politician, he has to work and gain support to the electorate. As I have advised him before, as if his advice is needed, that electorate may not even be the vast trolls of social media ghosts, which he appears infatuated with. ZANU-PF as a party is a specific electoral constituency to which he should appear to support and gain leverage over rivals. So, eyeing the same seat. Neither should he think the arm-twisting tactics of the military environment achieve the same results in the new arena. Here, one has to deploy a range of tactics to woo the supporters, and intimidation isn't one of them. So, you can see that all this is aimed at trying to say the strategy that was used in 2017 cannot work at the moment. But as much as Temba Mliswa terms the military superiority in the Zimbabwean politics as an illusion, it is equally true that his analysis of the current events are also a set of possible illusions. Now, he is just like those he accused daydreaming. The military in Zimbabwe still possesses some degree of power. That is why those who are contesting against retired General Chwenga cannot speak themselves. They would rather spend 12,000 US dollars monthly to Temba Mliswa so that he speaks on their behalf. And Temba Mliswa is not always in Zimbabwe. His whereabouts are actually secret these days. At one point he's out. He's frequently going out of Zimbabwe because he understands that what he is trying to do, he is endangering his life. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button.